guys. So if you are dreading back to school, don't be, because I have an easy lunch idea that will save you time so that you can start the morning strong. I totally get it. Back to school can be hectic. I have a baby at home, but don't worry, you guys are gonna love this one. And a special shout out to Seattle's Best Coffee for sponsoring and collaborating with me. Together, we are gonna show you guys how to make back to school mornings go smoothly. So, the secret with this lunch is all about prepping in advance so that your mornings are less hectic. Yes, hooray for less hectic mornings. So first we're gonna start with the snacks, and I'm telling you this is incredibly easy because you can prep them on the weekends. They'll be available for you throughout the week. And what we're gonna start on first are the apple chips. I mean, every child loves apple chips, right? And then we're gonna move on to the popcorn trail mix. So apple chips are a great alternative for regular chips. What I have in front of me is a sheet pan, and I've lined it with a baking mat. You can use either Gala apples or Fuji apples. You want them to be really nice and sweet. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take my thinly sliced apple, like so, and just place it onto the baking sheet. This is like so incredibly easy. If you don't have a baking mat, you can use parchment paper. But if you use parchment paper, you wanna make sure that the apples aren't too thin because they'll stick. Next, I'm just gonna sprinkle some cinnamon on top. Look at that. Whenever I'm sprinkling something, I always have to say, make it rain. What I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna throw my apple chips into the oven at 250 degrees for an hour on one side. Once it's done on one side, I'm gonna flip them over and cook them for another hour. And then you will have apple chips. While my apple chips are baking, I'm gonna move on to my popcorn trail mix. One thing that I love about making your own trail mix is it's less expensive. Sometimes when you buy trail mix at the store, it can get a little pricey. But not only that, I love making my own trail mix because you can cater to your child's needs. You can cater to whatever snacks they like. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with some popcorn because this is, after all, my popcorn trail mix. And to that, I'm gonna add my toasted sunflower and cashews to my popcorn, just like that. I'm gonna add some apricots. And what I've done with my apricots is I've cut them down to bite-sized pieces. I'm just gonna add that. And again, you can add raisins to this, whatever your kids like. And then I'm gonna add some pretzels, just like that. And I'm just gonna stir. Just kind of mix all of this in together. And I'm just gonna store this in an airtight container. So while my apple chips are in the oven, I have my popcorn trail mix. And again, this is all prep work so that our mornings can be less hectic. I mean, does it get any easier? So once you take them out the oven, this is how they look, and this is what it sounds like. Apple chips. This is like totally awesome. You wanna make sure that you store these in an airtight container. So I'm really excited about my sandwich idea because it's really quick and easy. I mean, Tia Mowry's quick fix. And you can prep them the night before. I'm gonna show you guys how I make my pinwheel. First, I'm gonna start with a tortilla. I just love saying tortilla because tia's in it, like tia, 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 tia. Okay, enough of that. Kids are hungry. So I have my tortilla and I am going to spread some whipped cream cheese. Now, I have a little secret to tell you guys about whipped cream cheese. Kids love it because of the texture. And not only that, you know, you would think to put mayo on it, but mayo has a lot of oil. And the oil from the mayo will make the tortilla kind of soggy and soft. And we don't want our pinwheel to be soggy and soft. And I'm just gonna place some turkey, like so. And you wanna try to get it nice and flat. As a kid, I always loved lunch. I couldn't wait for that bell to ring. You know how there's like that bell that goes ding? The bell would ring for lunchtime and you would see all the kids go run out and play. I remember Foursquare. Do you remember Foursquare? And then Double Dutch. I mean, lunch is so much fun. You get to eat and play. As an adult, I don't know if we can do that. Now on to my cheese. What kid doesn't love cheese? I'm using Monterey Jack cheese. You can use cheddar cheese, really any cheese you want. There we go. And of course, we have to get our veggies in for the kids. I'm gonna add some spinach, just like that. So one thing that's great about pinwheels in general is you can do different variations. You can have a variety of things. You can do just veggie pinwheels, you can do cheese pinwheels, you can just make a variety throughout the week. So I'm gonna give this a nice roll, which is a lot of fun. Just kinda wanna keep everything in there. And I love this because it has its protein, we have our veggies in there, and it's delicious, quick and easy. So I'm just cutting these into bite-sized slices, and you see it's really nice and pretty too. You see the green from the spinach. So I'm just gonna place my pinwheels into a bento box. And if you don't know what that is, it's just a box that has a lot of compartments in it. I find that kids love bento boxes because it keeps the food separated. Our lunch is halfway packed, and all we have to do is put the top on and throw it in the fridge. So the morning of, watch how easy this is, I get my coffee started because that is the most important thing. Corey and I, we like the flavor of Portside Blend from Seattle's Best Coffee. It is a smooth and premium coffee that'll give you a great cup of coffee every single time. And you know, Corey and myself, we have a newborn at home and we need consistency. So I've taken my pinwheels out of the refrigerator and now I'm going to assemble my lunch. And again, this has all been prepped, so it's quick and easy. My popcorn trail mix is ready to go, and all I have to do is just fill it up. Love this trail mix combination because it's sweet and salty. We've made our apple chips on the weekend. They are ready to go too. How delicious and great does this look? Any kid would love to have this. I mean, I would love to have this. This allows me to have some me time, some peace and quiet, and a delicious cup of coffee with all the extra time that I've saved. So I hope you guys enjoyed my back to school lunch idea, and I also want to give a special shout out and a thanks to Seattle's Best Coffee for sponsoring and collaborating with me and making back to school mornings go smoothly.